Hey guys, just wanted to put a little note in front of this video real quick. It was filmed quite some time ago, I think even before Halloween, so just to give you some context. But other than that, enjoy this interview with Chain Letter Curse. Alright, hey guys, we're back with the Nova Local Band Project. We are here today with Chain Letter Curse, and we're just going to go around the virtual room and have everybody introduce themselves. So whoever wants to start, go ahead.
I guess I will. I am Daniel. I am the bassist and current singer for Chain Letter Curse.
I guess I'll go next.
And I'm Steve.
Oh, Steve jumped an element.
Go ahead, Christian.
I guess I'm Christian. I'm the current drummer for Chain Letter Curse.
All right, Steve, now you.
And I'm Steve. I play guitar.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. So how long have you guys been active?
That's a good question. I guess, well, Steve, you can definitely go into it more.
Daniel and I, let's see. Daniel, you and I have been playing together for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, something like 2 years. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so Daniel and I got together a couple of years ago, and we had a few different members come and go. And then, you know, we were really happy when Christian joined the group because he's been a real solid guy. So the three of us, we've done a few shows together, been doing some recording together, and can't wait to get back out there again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's super cool. I mean, obviously, you know, in band myself, I know about sometimes it can be a revolving door, and it's great when you find those like unicorn members that actually stick around with you for a minute. So that's super cool. So can you tell me a little bit about how, so like, I'm assuming that you guys have been interested in music for a minute. So how did it turn into creating a band? Because that's a very big step to take when it comes to like, you know, if that's not like your main career, it's a big step to like jump into that because it's a big time commitment and a big like creative commitment, and it can get super difficult to like juggle them both. So like, how'd you guys get into what made you so like, I have to start like, because well, for a lot of people, when you are writing music, it's like you kind of have no other choice. So kind of when was that for you? And just kind of tell me about how everything formed together.
Well, once I started playing for a while, I realized I really wanted to, you know, continue to play with better and better people. And I had a band prior to this, and as that band dissolved, then Daniel and I got together, and, you know, it kind of goes back to what you were saying about finding those people who are just really solid. And, you know, I found that with Daniel and Christian. I found some really solid guys to play music with. And for me, you know, the time commitment and the creative commitment, it's something that I have to do. It's not, for me, it's not, you know, when the guys come over and we jam, and when I'm writing music, and even when I'm practicing, if my head's in the right place, to me, it's not a burden. And that's, you know, that's where some of the people fall by the wayside. They don't see the enjoyment in just the music. You know, it becomes work. And for me, it's not work. It's meditation, it's relaxation, and it's fun.
And Steve writes like 1 billion songs a day, so he's got to do something with them, I guess.
I think it's up to 2 billion now.
Yeah. Far too many songs. We tell them to just stop writing. We cannot catch up.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the best way to be though, because if you don't have like enough songs, you kind of, once you're like trying to like trying to figure out what you're gonna release, if you don't have enough and you're just like not completely enamored with anything, listen, if you're writing 2 million songs, you're bound to find 5 that you like.
At least a couple that have some good riffs.
Just a couple of them. So, you know, don't knock you on that at all. And that's actually what I got kind of distracted today. I started writing a song. I'm super excited about it. So that's awesome.
Fantastic. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about kind of the shows that you've played and I don't know, just kind of a little bit more about like I guess your performing history and so the music that you have out, is it an album or did you guys just kind of release singles as you went along, or how did that go?
So far it's been just kind of like posting things on SoundCloud. Christian recently has been posting kind of our more live takes on YouTube, and SoundCloud being more of our demos. But we're looking in the very near future to kind of like, we've been recording so much, we take the production of the demos very seriously. So I kind of want to elevate them to a finished product and hopefully have a 10-song record done in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to mention, because when I was listening to your stuff compared like, with your old vocalist versus the vocals that you, Daniel, are doing. Personally, I really think that your vocals fit really well with what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's like the guitar tones, but like, I don't know, something about that male tone to me fits a lot better with your guys' style, I think. And I don't know if it's kind of difficult for you to like juggle playing the bass and doing vocals at the same time. Because like for me as a vocalist, I'm all over the stage. I'm crazy. I couldn't have an instrument in my hands. So do you think that you'll continue being the vocalist, or what are you guys looking to do with that?
Well, if somebody else, like, because, we've had, the Facebook ads out, the Craigslist ads out, and things like that. If someone comes in and they're like just an awesome vocalist and they have that stage energy, more power to them. I'd love to have a vocalist and kind of let me take the backseat and do more like, backup vocals, harmonies occasionally and stuff. But, and yeah, Christian's also got the headset for his drums too, to kind of do some background vocals and just, let me kind of fly around on stage with the bass. But at the same time, it's also nice to not have to worry about scheduling for 4 people. So
Yep.
that's good as well.
Definitely.
I mean, we already got a drummer with one world of a schedule.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think is in relation to vocals, I think it would be great if we found especially another female vocalist. But I think that we have enough material and a variety of material that I would still want Daniel to sing a lot of the material, because, certainly he's super talented.
Yes.
And he can pull that off. And it just gives us, it gives us more depth. If we can find a female vocalist who can really, lend her style to some of the songs that I think are more fitting for a female
Hit the high notes,
and then Daniel can, yeah, I mean, I just, and it kind of goes to the whole idea of combining our different talents and combining our different efforts. I always want to be a part of a band, not like, this is one man's show and everybody else is backing them. I always want to be part of a band. So if somebody can do something different, then we can incorporate that into our music. I think that's one of the beauties of writing original music, is that, we can look and see what talents we have. If Christian comes in and he's like, and this happened to us a few weeks ago, he goes, I've got this drum beat and I've got this in my head and it goes like this. And he started playing something for me and I'm like, you know what? I've got a riff that'll match that. And I started playing something with him. So everybody brings something to the table. And if we can find somebody who's dedicated, who really wants to do this and have some fun, like Daniel said, we'd welcome that person. But I certainly wouldn't want to totally sideline Daniel's vocals. I mean, he can. You've heard it. He can. He can really
I love it.
Some of our stuff.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not that this is a Psy Stay Up session, but I just had to mention it. Great. So tell me. So I mean, I can kind of figure out what the name of the band means, but do you guys want to talk about your guys' band name and where it came from?
It took a long time to come up with the name.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna let them to answer this one.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll start to see if you can clarify it. We went through a bunch of, like, we had like a joke name for a while. We play a lot of D&D. We're nerds. So we called her. We had a D&D joke of a name, the Murder Hobos, for a while. We never played a show with that name.
True.
I don't think anyone would get the joke. They'd be like, "Wow, that's a really violent name." But
actually, I have a couple of friends who are into D&D, so I'm sure they'd probably
get the joke then. Yep. Yeah, but we wanted a name that was kind of like didn't take itself too, like, it sounds like, wow, Chili Peppers is metal, but it's also like, the logo, we're going for more of like a 1940s Universal horror film, kind of like sort of tongue-in-cheek in that regard a little bit, but still a cool sounding name that wasn't like Die Death Die Metal Blood or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah, because it's like those emails that used to get back in the day.
Exactly. That's what they're named off of. And growing up for me, it was more of the MySpace. Like, if you don't share this, someone will come out of your bathtub. Steve, I guess back in your day, was literally letters, you know.
Yep, and they're really trying to get it to Facebook somehow. If we could just keep those off, that'd be great.
Yes, yeah. We don't actually condone chain letter curses.
Well, we are the curse.
Yes, we are the curse. We don't condone others. That's copyright infringement.
True. Absolutely. So, okay. So you guys have, like I said, you have quite a lot of music out, and you sent me 2 with your vocals, Daniel. So are those like your favorites, or out of your guys' current discography, what would you say is your favorites? And they can be your favorites in a couple ways. It can be your favorites to play live, or just like your favorite in general.
Oh, well, mine would be either $sign or March of the Lancers.
Okay.
Yeah, those are fun ones.
And for me, it's really hard to pick, you know, and I guess a lot of it depends on the energy when we're playing together. You know, there's some songs that it just really is fun to play. You know, Wrong End of the Gun, when we play that song well and the 3 of us are locked in, that is a fun one to play for me. And there's a lot of songs that are like that. And so it's hard to pick a favorite on any given day.
Yeah, for sure. I think you guys will have a better idea of, like, I don't know. For me, like, I used to be really, I have this favorite song of the week, but like now I kind of need the whole picture. I need the album. Like, I have a favorite album of the week, you know? So I feel like once you guys are able to like pull that together, I think you'll have a better idea of, like, you know, like, I don't have a favorite color. I have a favorite grouping of colors. So I feel like you guys will have that once you're able to put your album out. So what are your guys' timeline looking like for putting out your album?
Well, I think we'll have it out. I'm really shooting for mid-December, because we've got a show at Rick's Rock Cafe in Richmond on the 12th. And I think it would be kind of cool to have our CDs, you know, ready for December. And then everybody can buy our CDs for Christmas gifts.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that. Just, you know, get it in their hands, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, we've got a couple of shows before you're asking about where we played out. And, you know, before the whole COVID thing hit, you know, we played a few places and actually had, you know, a few more things on the books before COVID hit. And then unfortunately those were canceled. But now we'll be back at Casey's in Fredericksburg on October 10th. And then we'll be back at Have Another Round on November 21st. I think that was just recently announced on Facebook. And we've played both of those places. And then, you know, we've got Rick's Rock Cafe coming up, and he's opened up a fairly new venue, and it's a beautiful stage that he's built. And I think that'll be a fun one too. So, you know, I'm a little bit torn, because I certainly don't want anyone to, you know, be in an unhealthy situation. But we've got to get back out there and play some music, and hopefully everybody will be safe.
Yeah, we'll just, you know, take whatever precautions that you need to take. You know, it'll be fine. But I wanted to go back,
right,
of what you were talking about, what you were saying. People, like, finding good people to play with, in terms of like good musicians to play with. And this is a topic that we've been hitting on in a lot of these interviews, where, like, you know, you become a completely different musician once you start playing live. Have you guys experienced that like same phenomenon, where like you just have to find somebody who's like better than you to play with so that you can be better?
I think it pushes you I mean, one thing, it's like Steve writes a lot of the songs, but you know, we all help organize them into different structures, and we all help, you know, with lyrics and kind of finalizing them. But like the kind of stuff I write on my own, it's not like that. So when you're, you know, writing and you're learning someone else's songs, it's pushing you in that way a lot. Like you know, otherwise you might find yourself kind of in a rut with your own writing, and so you're playing someone else's, and it pushes you in that way. I mean, I always, the times in my life when I've gotten, you know, seen the most dramatic changes in terms of like me growing as a musician has always been when I've been in bands easily.
Of course. Yeah.
I'd say with me, it's been more like put on the spot with stuff. Like when I first came and played with them two for the first time, they said, "Hey, we're playing this." I'm like, okay. And then just jumped right into it. Pretty much, that's what I got told.
This part's in halftime, this part's in regular time. Don't mess it up.
And I mean, look at us now. What, 8-10 months later, almost?
Yeah.
Only 8 to 10 months.
Since Christian,
yeah, since I've been with them.
That's pretty impressive though, because you know, based on what I've seen, you guys are pretty tight. So you know, I would say that's a pretty quick turnaround on that. So like, way to go. That's awesome.
Yeah, lucked out finding someone who could really jump in on the drums like that, and really not only come up to speed on the songs we had, but you know, push forward with all like I don't know how many new songs we've written since you've been here, maybe like 7 or 8 songs, something like that we've gotten.
Almost like 10.
Maybe, yeah, like 10 new songs. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's, you know, that's the beauty of these two guys, is that they care and they show up and they, you know, they do the work, and it just makes it so much fun to play when you're playing with people like that who can show up and be prepared and contribute. And, you know, for me as a musician, that's the kind of thing that keeps me moving forward. And the other thing too is that, you know, we come to this, and I think for the most part, there's very little ego involved. So, you know, we're working on a new song the other day, and Daniel's like, well, I don't really know about that second bridge. I don't really like that. So last couple of days I went back and wrote a new bridge, and
thank God. No,
it's better. I like it better. So you know, just being open to suggestions and being open to, hey, let's try it. You know, we're always willing to say, hey, let's try that. You know, we're practicing. So if we try something and it stinks and we don't like it, well, we can get rid of that. Or we might find something that we really love and keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's super crucial to the creative process, because like, you know, I don't know if you guys are, you know, ever in like theater back in the day or at all. But you know, when you're doing improv, the main thing is you don't say no. You always say yes. Right. So I think that being able to like say, hey, can we try something different? As opposed to like being super married to like, I brought these golden lyrics and they can't change for anything. So you have to make them work around this, or else I'm going to scream. You know, that kind of energy really doesn't lend to making like the best stuff possible. So that's awesome that you guys are kind of able to like collaborate in that way. Because I'm not great at that. I'm the complete opposite. I'm the person who's like, I brought you these golden lyrics. If you don't like them, I'm going to scream. So, you know, it is what it is. And at least I can admit it, right?
Exactly. The first step, right?
Right. Absolutely. So can you guys tell me a little bit about, so you mentioned that you guys are into D&D. What are your the other hobbies aside from music?
Yeah, Christian looks like you're like, no, you added us as D&D fans. No. Like, no, they're nerds.
Well,
no.
I mean, I like traveling. So like, I've been across the whole U.S. just to ride roller coasters.
Yo, that sounds amazing. What is do you have a favorite roller coaster that you've been on?
Oh, Steel Vengeance up at Cedar Point is my #1 coaster in the world
Is that in
right
Ohio?
now. Yep.
Oh, I have to check that out. Because I'm a big roller coaster person. Well, I used to be a big roller coaster person, and then I got old, and then they start giving me motion sickness and headaches.
Oh, no.
But I will still get on one.
That's the spirit. Yeah, a lot of, you know, on my end, nothing. I mean, obviously, I love to travel. I don't do it as much as Christian does, but a lot of reading.
We need to do a band trip.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, we just got to get a gig out there in Ohio. Bam.
Hey, I can hook us up with one maybe.
Hey, but yeah, a lot of reading, playing guitar and bass, you know, and things like that.
Nice. All right, Steve, your hobby outside of music.
Well, I mean, I guess, you know, the D&D thing, because the guys are involved again, that's a lot of fun. And a lot of my time, you know, we all three of us have full-time jobs, so a lot of our time is spent there. And I have a 12-year-old daughter, so I try to do a good job of raising her.
You have a 12-year-old daughter?
Yeah, so, you know, it's not a hobby. It's
Right.
actually another full-time job. But,
Absolutely. Is she into music? Are you getting her into music?
you know, for all the time that she's had musicians around her, she's never really taken to it. And I think some of it is just fear, you know, and she's afraid that she's not going to be great at something. And I said, it's okay. It's okay not to be great at something. When I first started playing guitar, I could barely put two chords together. But she did help us on the video that, you know, Christian finalized and put all the editing together. She came down here and shot some cell phone video for us. So
that's awesome.
I try to involve her where I can. But, you know, telling a 12-year-old to do anything is always a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was the same way growing up. Like, if I wasn't good at it, I will stop immediately. So, like, I totally get that.
Yeah, she's great at soccer and she loves that. But I'm just hoping someday that some of the music will sink in, because it's been such an important thing to me that I hope that she someday finds a joy in it.
Yeah, for sure. I bet she will one day. Don't even have to worry about that. Sometimes it takes finding the right music for some people. Because I know that we were talking about, it was one of the first interviews that I did, but it was Rose Blush Morgan. She was talking about how, you know, she wasn't really interested in music really until they started learning like more pop type of stuff, right? And so sometimes it takes the right genre to kind of get everything going, you know? So it takes time. And also it's hard to find music these days. So, you know, it'll take her some time, but she'll get there.
Sure.
All right. So you guys talked about wanting to put out an album in mid-December. So I'm super excited for that to come out. Was there anything else you guys wanted to kind of throw on here or mention before we go ahead and wrap up?
I mean, we're probably one of the few bands in Richmond that have a light-up drum set.
A light-up drum set? Oh, I'm gonna have to get some footage of that drum set to throw on this video.
Hey, like zoom in on the YouTube thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Just
Did you share the YouTube with her, Christian?
I sent it to her in the email.
Yeah, he sure did. Like I said,
Okay.
I had checked all that stuff out. Been watching it. I like to kind of like listen to the stuff over some time just to kind of get acquainted before I start talking to y'all. But yeah.
Right. And I just want everybody to, you know, as long as you feel safe, come out to the shows that we got coming up and have some fun. And we'll be booking more shows as, you know, we feel like people are going to show up and enjoy it. So we really hope to see people out there. You know, all the musicians that we've met around Richmond and Fredericksburg that we've played with before, people are very supportive of each other in these communities. So I hope that spirit can remain and we get out there and do that.
Yeah, awesome. So at the end here, can you guys go ahead and plug all your social media stuff so everybody knows where to find you? And then the shows that you're playing coming up, if you could like email those dates and locations to me so I could put them in the YouTube description.
Thanks. So the Facebook is literally
I'll send those. Daniel, you wanna plug the social media, Daniel?
Sounds good. Yeah, so far we only have the Facebook, so it's easy. Facebook, literally just facebook.com/chainlettercurse. And then the SoundCloud, so it's soundcloud.com also /chainlettercurse. So very easy there.
Awesome. We'll be
with Facebook.
I will. I'll get those to you shortly.
All right. Awesome. Well, this has been so much fun, guys.